Today I fucked up by telling my kid's 3-year-old's friend not to aim the Nerf gun at people. So for once on this sub, this actually happened about 6 hours ago today. I just got out of the emergency room. My son and his friend, both 3 years old, were playing with the Nerf guns, and I told them, whatever we do, we don't point these at people, especially people's face. They listened for a bit, until this kid decided I think it would be funny to break the rules and shoot this guy in the face. So what does he do? He runs up to me and shoots me right in the face. Now I've had plenty of injuries, but never by a Nerf gun. This dart hit me dead perfect in my right eyeball while my eye was open. Instantly, I went 100 blind in my right eye. After a few minutes, I realized this was serious, so I went to urgent care. The doctor at urgent care looked more nervous than I did and immediately sent me to the ER. I get to the ER, spend 6 hours there by the time I get out, but I did regain about 10 of my vision since then, and the docs say I should get it back within a few days hopefully. But the docs also told me this is why you don't let kids play with Nerf guns. Touché, I guess. Wish me luck on my road to recovery. TLD, a kid shot me in the eye with a Nerf gun after specifically saying don't shoot people in the face. Caused immediate blindness in my right eye, which will hopefully come back. For now, I'll wear my eye patch and say ARG. For ages 8 and up. I always viewed that as a warning to kids not to play with it. Now I know it's a warning to the parents. And that makes a lot of sense. Kids don't read warning labels. The real FU is giving your 3-year-old and his friend Nerf guns. Also, you should know that telling a 3-year-old not to do something will very likely result in that something happening. This exact same thing happened to me, except I was 23 and it was my buddy who was drunk and pranking me and shit me right in the fucking eye with the high-powered Nerf guns that shoot the balls. I lost vision for like 2 days, but it came back eventually. So I'm sure yours will come back too. Edit shot. I'm keeping it though. If they were older, it would be a lesson that will stick with them for a lifetime. Or say aim safely at a cardboard box. Little kids can't process don't. When we were younger, one of the neighborhood kids ran up to my older brother with a super soaker and said, "I'm going to squirt you." My brother told him, "If you spray me, I'm smashing your gun off the fence." Kid sprayed my brother. My brother grabbed the gun by the nozzle, took it out of his hands, and smashed it on the fence behind him, breaking it, and handed it back. Naturally, the kid started crying and went and told his father. His father came and spoke 2 hours about what happened. My dad said, he told him what would happen. 3 years old is way too young for any type of gun toy. I don't have any kids myself, but I check the age recommendations when buying my nieces and nephews gifts, and I don't think I saw anything other than bubble-blowing guns for that age. Geez, you're doing it all wrong. You have to teach them gun safety with a real, loaded firearm. Kids just don't take Nerf very seriously. When I was a toddler, my mom was trying to take my temperature and told me not to bite down on the thermometer. Guess what I immediately did, and where we had to go? Toddlers are weird, man. Another reason to not have kids added to the pile. You need to make an appointment with an ophthalmologist, not an optometrist, ASAP. The ER doc is most likely not a specialist when it comes to eye injuries, and that is what you need. Don't mess around with the peepers. You'll shoot your eye out, kid. Nerf guns seem like a terrible toy for a 3-year-old. Nerf or nothing. I played that Humans vs. Zombies game in college, and a friend of mine took a Velcro dart to the eye. He went to the hospital for that. Last I heard, he can still feel the abrasion on his eye when he blinks. Since small, we have always told them it's not okay to point it at someone's face. We also have a rule that if the person isn't wearing safety glasses we bought in bulk off Amazon, that it's not okay to shoot them at all. A lot of problems have been avoided because they know if we want to play we will put glasses on. For the record, you get my upvote for just being a today post lol. I hope your eye gets better quickly. I distinctly remember being a kid playing with Nerf guns with my cousin and sister and her nailing me right in the eye. No blindness luckily. I'd keep the eye patch on for longer than you really need to and make a point to refer to the fact said kid blinded me until it hits home that what they did could have had permanent life-altering consequences. My wife got a scratched cornea and it was incredibly painful. You need to follow up with an ophthalmologist to get the surface debrided before it heals bumpy. It was so painful. I'm just imagining a suction cup tip Nerf dart sticking to your eye dead center and moving around as you're yelling and trying to look around. Probably not what happened, but still makes a great horror-inspired comedy sketch in my mind. If it's any consolation, the first doctor looked nervous, probably because most don't have a ton of training with optometry, maybe an elective course here or there. Learned the hard way to call my optometrist with an eye injury first next time instead of going to urgent care. Hope you heal up fast. One Seapold say you should have seen that coming. Is this kid's dead Vita Belfort by any chance? My nephew is an ophthalmology resident and we just talked about this last night. He can't believe Nerf is still on the market with the number kids he has come in with injuries. You can buy really cheap impact-resistant safety glasses at Home Depot that would work wonders for keeping your eyes working. I'd buy a pair for every Nerf gun you own for the kids to wear and yourself. Caveman brain would have taken over and I'd be yeeting that child over the nearest fence or into a wall, same as I'd expect to be done to my own children. You have a lot of willpower restraint, OP. I accidentally shot my 5-year-old in the eye once. Luckily I was far and he blinked, but I was horrified. The rules are now we don't play without masks on for eye protection. Smiling face with open mouth and cold sweat. Why would you expect a 3-year-old to understand the consequences of shooting a foam dart into someone's face? If they don't understand the consequences, they are going to experiment to find out why they shouldn't. I bet you didn't see that coming. Tell me what the age rating for Nerf guns is again, Guess who doesn't get to be friends with your kid anymore, lol, what a little shit. I'm sorry this happened to you, OP, and I wish you a speedy recovery, but seriously, this is almost a leopard sate my face material, at the very least a what called garong. You seem to understand that Nerf darts are not to be shot at faces, so you have some understanding that they could be dangerous. Why on earth would you give a toddler a dangerous thing to play with? What consequence did the child experience? I strongly believe that children learn by facing the consequences of their actions. This happened to me. My kid 9 at the time told me to put goggles on and I didn't listen. Shot me in the open eye. It took 2 full weeks before my VC9N came back and I wasn't sensitive to light. Lesson learned. FTS. I would love it if you'd make a video. I have driven this home on my kids over and over, and I'm going to use this as another story. I'm going to call you my friend, okay, that just got hurt like this. X200B. I see them pick up guns without goggles, immediately loss of guns. 4 days. I have faith you'll recover your vision in 3 weeks. If you don't for any reason, let me know. I'll try and help out as I can. The entire point of Nerf guns are to aim them at people. They're not for target practice. They're for shooting each other. That's literally the whole point of owning a Nerf gun. Maybe have a not the face rule. But definitely not a no aiming at people rule. That's just lame. Edit. We always wear sunglasses when we Nerf battle with our kid, his friends. The kids feel like tiny badasses with their sunglasses and their eyes are protected. Judd, pick some that don't have super dark lenses. Only upvoting because it actually happened today. The kid is 3, this is totally on you being an idiot. See an ophthalmologist, my dude. I can't tell you how many Nerf dart injuries we've seen cat face with tears of joy. Also, parent life pro tip, when you tell your toddler don't do C, they hear do X. Parent of former toddlers. Yeah, with kids under 5, never tell them what not to do, only phrase what you want them to do, because they're still testing limits and seeing what will happen, and half of them will immediately do that thing. Yeah, kids under like 7 are total dicks. Never give them weapons. My niece is 4 and she just tried to shoot me in the face the other day with a Nerf gun. Luckily there were no darts in it. Hate that kid. Did you know you can punt a 3-year-old? Although with no depth perception right now, you may want someone to hold him first. Obviously.